to institute the matter. Then the favorite NPA head came and said she's reinstituting the matter and she's charging Lisiba and them, and excluded me from being charged, at least for now, because she wants to see what will come out of the trial. So she wouldn't charge me. She will not charge me. Even in the future, she can't charge me. Even if she charges me, she will never succeed because I'm not involved in those things. Limpopo had a budget of 47 billion. On point got a tender of 50 million. Wrongly or rightfully so, I don't want to deal with that. How can a tender of 50 million collapse a budget of 47 billion?
Sorry. Just to interrupt you there on the 50 million. On point, you, through your family trust, were a shareholder of On Point Engineering. Surely you can't say you were not interested or not bothered on that 50 million rands contract because it impacted on your financial and economic upward mobility in life, because surely as a shareholder of On Point Engineers through Ratanang, you would get some sort of proceeds from the profits that would be generated on that contract.
It's a common cause. It's undisputed. So why do you want to canvass the grounds that are not disputed? I'm a shareholder in On Point. I got money in On Point. Madonsela makes that point. So the matter of whether On Point got a tender rightfully or wrongly is now before court. All I'm saying is you cannot have a tender of 50 million collapse a province of a budget of 47 billion. So the intention has always been to smear me, to delegitimize me, so that I do not add my voice in the anti-corruption project of the country. So Castle was the premier, Pinky was the MEC, Masondo was the MEC. All these people who presided over that government are today ministers or deputy ministers in the clean government. The dark cloud of having collapsed the government of Limpopo remains with me, who has never been in government. But where, Samkel, maybe you'll teach me, where have you ever seen a situation where the corrupt get charged, but there is no the corruptee? No one is charged from government, the collapsed government of Limpopo. The person who has enabled that corruption in Limpopo. In the indictment on Point, nowhere do they say Malema bribed this one or that one in order to get the tender. So if I influenced the tender, since I was not in government, who did I influence? And what was the power of this person? And why is this person not charged? If the matter is legitimate and want to resolve the problem of corruption. That is with regard to On Point in Limpopo. So the VBS matter, right? I've never spoken to VBS people. The person I know in VBS and do not know that much about that person is Matozi, the chairperson of Vele, who was introduced to me at the party of the Bavenda King, Bompepo. So I've never had any dealings with them. This is very simple, Samgel. When a case is opened, the Hawks have got access to all our forms of communication. They can even apply Section 205, get it from the judge, go into the history of our phones. In this case, they've done, by the way, with the VBS colleagues who are arrested. Nowhere will you ever find me in any form of communication with any of the VBS people.
But it's not about communication for you with the VBS people.
No.
There is a bank card, Mr. Malema.
We're coming to that. Yes, we're coming to that. I get it, we're building a case.
Okay.
So,
Julius, sorry, hold on. I want to go back to the issue around the VBS people that you never...
That Polly in her investigation has shown that it has followed you around.
yes.
Did you at any point benefit from the use of that credit card by simply the fact that this is your cousin, brother who is with you and might have bought something for you?
Well, I wouldn't know if he used the credit card. He won't say to me, Buti, I'm now going to swipe a VBS card or Mauna card or anything. So if I'm sitting with him One of the instances Polly mentions in Secheo, that we went to Nimi's Chisanyam. So I will go sit there with them, and then when I leave, they pay.
Okay.
So I wouldn't know how they paid and all of that.
So
But now you do, Julius. What I'm saying is that now you do know that there was money that was taken from VBS.
Not by my cousin. My cousin has never used any VBS money.
But Mr. Malema, there is a proven payment from Skameka,
Yes.
which received a payment from VBS
So
into Mahuna.
So Skamega is VBS according to you.
No, but the
money, the source of the money is VBS. It moved from VBS, Vela, to Skameka, to Mahuna. The very same Mahuna that in the middle of a fuel contract in Tshwane, just in the middle of the education of the tenders, had been receiving monies the day before, on the day of the tender of the adjudication, or that is Mahuna, and after the adjudication of that particular tender in Tshwane. So this Mahuna, wherever the EFF is co-governing, whether it be Joburg, Tshwane, now in the issue allegations of corruption in VBS, it's there. And this company is linked to who? To you through your brother or cousin.
You know, you just did a very brilliant work for me, because you say that card is VBS card, but at the same time you say there was money that came from a company that does work in Tshwane, a company that does work in Joburg, a company that does work in agriculture department. So it's not a VBS money. It's a money that belongs to Mahuna.
Part of that money was from
Now your
VBS.
new question is part of the money
No,
now.
I'm saying to you, Julius, so there is some benefit. And
But you keep
directly-
on
Let me
shifting
finish.
the
I want
goalpost.
to finish my question.
Yes,
as I was
you
putting
keep on
it.
shifting the goalpost. Your colleague answered you. The same card has got businesses in different entities. It's not receiving money only from Skameka.
Mr. Malema,
Julius-
Mr. Malema, no, stop misquoting things. For instance,
Misquoting who?
Let me give you a classical example. This particular company, fuel company in Tshwane,
Yeah.
the tender is advertised on the 19th of June 2018. On the 5th of July 2018 is a full tender compulsory briefing.
Yeah.
On the 6th of July, Mafuna Investments, from this particular company that is tendering to get this contract, tendering, hasn't gotten the contract yet, pays an amount of 250,000 rands to Mahuna Investments. What is Mahuna providing to this particular company that is bidding in Tshwane and is linked to your cousin? And the day after, a particular payment of, when the tender closes, R1 million payment is made to DDM Media and Entertainment, which is linked to the Secretary General of the Economic Freedom Fighters, Marshal Dlamini. On the 27th of July, a further 500,000 rands is deposited into this Mahuna Investments from this company that is tendering to get this contract in Tshwane, which was set aside yesterday at the North Gauteng High Court.
Yes.
What is the relationship?
The relationship is that the company is doing business with other companies.
What kind of business is
It's
this
not
Mahuna doing there?
It's not doing business. It's not only receiving money from Skameka. I'm happy that point you have clarified it so well for me. The company is involved in different types of businesses, be it consulting, be it entertainment, be it events, be it accommodation, hospitality. It does different types of things. It did business with the company that got fuel tender in Tshwane. But we were not controlling Tshwane. We didn't have any, you see, Samkelo, the best journalism would be, Malema, you got 500,000 into Mahuna, and then you went to speak to the municipal manager. Municipal manager spoke to the chair of the bidding committee, and then the adjudicating committee. Therefore, this company got a tender. You cannot just throw an allegation and say, yeah, they gave you a bribe, and then they got a tender. How did we influence it? The mayor is a DA mayor. The administrators are appointed by the DA. In the same tender, Samkelo, do further investigation. Amabungani then comes later to say, no, actually this guy has got a cousin who sits in the bid committees there. It looks like it's the one who gives him tenders. But the reality of the situation is that that company you are talking about did business in Tshwane long before the existence of the EFF. They didn't start doing business in Tshwane because of the EFF. But the EFF never controlled the tenders, the process, the senior managers of Tshwane. So, Matlatsi, the money my brother uses is not the money of VBS. It's the money of his company That comes from all types of sources,
Including VBS.
including Sgamega. He has never received money
Including
from...
Sgamega
Yes.
from VBS.
No, you can...
My question was going
but
to be
the reality is that my brother
Yeah.
and me, you can say all you want to say. We don't have any dealings with VBS. We don't have. And you cannot present any evidence sitting here, and I allow you to do it, that suggests my brother gets this money from Sgamega because he did the following work for VBS, or I did that. No, people are going to be arrested now, Matlatsi. Watch the space. CFOs, municipal managers, mayors, and some politicians in the ANC. I want to tell you now that if there is any municipality that can say, we put money into the VBS because Malema said we must do that, I will resign all the positions of the EFF without any
Mr.
hesitation.
Malema, stop deflecting.
I'm not deflecting,
We are-
unless you don't know the concept of deflecting.
Wait. This can't be your show.
Then say it in
It
suit.
can't be your show. We need to, let's engage.
It's my show.
No,
I'm the
it's
one
not
who's
your show.
answering
We are here for an
questions.
engagement. If it's your show, we're going to walk out.
Don't threaten because you don't
I'm
have
not threatening
facts.
you. That's a
Okay,
fact.
You are
okay,
threatening.
okay.
How not the
Oh my
issue?
God.
You don't have issues. You are
Somebody
threatening.
serious.
You ran
Okay,
out of
okay.
issues.
Mr.
Hey, but now you ran out of
Okay,
issues.
okay.
Now you want to go. The door is open. If you exhausted your issues, you can go.
Mr. Malema.
You don't know what deflection means. We're still on VBS.
Mr. Malema, these payments, is it not suspicious to you that this particular company in Tshwane that is bidding for this contract is making payments to DDM Entertainment of Marshall Dlamini, the SG, and also making payments without you clarifying what sort of business they are doing to this particular BTT fuel company or trading company that got this contract that has been nullified by the North Gauteng High Court? Why are they making payments to Mahuna and to DDM and later on to Slankatara of investments, which is also linked to you? Is it not suspicious to you?
No, it's not at all. But the boys are working. It's business to business
What
relationship.
kind of business are they doing?
I've explained to you. I said consultancy, hospitality, management, events, all types of events. So I wouldn't want to go and answer details of what the boys are doing with the company in question.
Are you not concerned that you have companies?
No, I'm
of
concerned. I asked
people
them.
close to you
I
are
asked them.
implicated
That's
in
why,
so many things.
That's why I asked them. No, not in so many things.
Okay, in
Yeah,
the few things that
yeah.
have been
No,
maybe
finish your
not so
sentence.
many-
So you asked them,
I
you asked
asked
them?
them.
You
I
asked
asked, and they explained. They explained everything that, specifically with the companies that are exposed. I may not know other things, but I will ask them, what's happening here? What is the story here? They will be able to say to, Chief, these people who are involved with them on this project, which has got nothing to do with Tshwane. So let's take Joburg, for instance, Matlatsi, on the fleet management company. The boys are engaged with that company on agricultural projects in Limpopo, which was way before the fleet. They don't control what that guy does, but they've had subcontract with him in Limpopo in the agriculture department. But because they paid each other, those monies there. Now they want to expose this guy of fleet. They say, no, he paid a bribe to Julius. Even when contracts are shown and invoices, it's still not enough.
My next question to you would be, so
Adrian, the
sorry.
discussion goes like this. No, you just talk.
You must jump
It's
in,
a conversation. Yeah. Welcome.
But you see, my problem is with what's currently happening is that we are not really the lead reporters
Not
on
investigating
VBS. You
reports
see,
in politics, yeah.
that is the issue number one. So,
Yeah.
Polly van Wyk isn't here, and Polly isn't here to give us whatever.
Investigative journalist. Some girl was given a task. He could have brought any journalist he wanted to bring. So we are here with you. You are here now. And stop giving excuses of
Can I just
people
ask a quick
that you had the right to bring here and you didn't bring them here.
Mr. Malema, no.
Okay.
Let me address you directly now.
It's really...
On this issue, because we are degenerating, honestly. On this issue, we are not prosecutors. We are not investigative journalists. We are not here to trial you. We are here to have a conversation with you. So please, stop personalizing the issue and answer honestly and Let's not.
But how
let-
am I
wait,
personal? You are
wait,
being
wait.
emotional.
No, I'm not being emotional.
No, you are.
I'm not being emotional, Mr. Malema. All I am asking, let's have a cordial civil conversation. Let's not say it's a lame excuse or it's not. Yes, indeed, we are not
It's a
investigative
lame
journalists.
excuse.
Okay, fine. It's a lame
It
excuse
is.
to you. Let's
Because
move on.
Samkelo, I said you can invite anyone. I said that. And after I spoke to you, Vianney, I said you can invite anyone. So you don't bring investigative journalists here and you want to pin it on me. I said anyone who's critical.
Mr. Malema, there is a ban.
Listen, Buffett, we
There's a what?
continuously go back to this issue about reporters who are not here and reporters who are
No,
here.
but if
We
you
are
knew,
here now.
Aldrian, if you knew, and including CD, if you knew you are not qualified, what are you doing here? Because you could have said, sorry, I can't do it.
Yeah.
Let me bring a credible investigative journalist.
Okay, sure, we are here now.
I gave you all the power to bring anyone.
We are here now.
Yeah.
My take on this is that I won't be focusing on Polly van Wyk's investigation because I can't corroborate that evidence. However, though, based on common cause is that you have an EFF member who was implicated in the VBS scandal, right?
Yeah.
Yes. What have you done since then as a party? Have you investigated that individual?
No, it's not our duty. We can't investigate members.
You can't
If you are saying leaders,
Okay.
yeah, members.
Okay.
A member.
Yeah.
If a branch of the EFF wants to investigate that member, they can do it. But if you are saying leaders of the EFF, it is at this level. Can you imagine what we'll be doing to investigate every member of the EFF every time there is an allegation?
But you want to
this
be
is
a
not-
clean
but-
party.
We are a clean party.
Then you would be
This
able to
is-
say,
We-
this
no,
region,
we
can you
are a
investigate?
clean
Sorry,
party.
guys.
We have never been found guilty of any wrongdoing, not
I must
mentioned
be
in
Maxine
any
now,
report.
Maxine Walters. My time.
Sure.
The point is that you have a member who's implicated in the VBS scandal, and you as a party again decide not to investigate. However, though, that member would have signed a membership form of the party, which states clearly that you must defend the African revolutionary tradition against all forms of tendencies that promote hatred, division, underdevelopment, corruption, and social discourse. Now you have this member that has signed this particular membership form with this contract, and you're telling us that you're not going to investigate that member because it is just a member, he's not an executive of the party.
No. We're not going to do that. We are not going to do that. When our deputy president was mentioned, leadership asked him to take us into confidence. It is at our level. Yeah, there are levels in the organization. So Brian Shibambo is not going to be elevated to this level.
But that's the same.
No, if he violates
Brian Shivambu that has brought this organization into
It's not
this
Brian
by
Shivambu.
by mere
No.
mention of his name.
No.
Okay, let me ask you this.
It's not him.
If Brian Shivambu was not mentioned in the VBS report, do you think that you would have been here? Do you think that you would have had this gathering here?
No, there would have been something else.
There would have been something
Yeah, there would have been something else
However,
because
though,
there is an agenda all the time
Yes.
to discredit us. So whether it's Brian Shibambo or not, they would have found something. They would have used something in the same way they try to found condoms. They would have used something to try and discredit us.
Julius, you once offered us a chance to look at your books. Does that offer still stand?
Absolute.
Okay, fantastic. That's what I'll bring.
So no investigation
But
from the
secondly,
party side of its members.
Aldrin, when a member makes a mistake or violates the code of
But
conduct,
this is not a mistake.
but I'm answering you, is violating
but this is not a mistake.
Yeah,
We're speaking
is in
about-
violation of the code of conduct.
Yes.
A member shall be charged at his level. Don't only read the oath.
Sure.
Read the code of conduct of the EFF.
Has that happened?
No.
As the leader of the party?
No, that has
Do
not
you
happened.
think it
I've answered you.
necessitates? Do you think it necessitates an investigation into this particular individual?
No, it doesn't.
It doesn't necessitate.
No.
Even though we have this entire
There's
gathering
nothing.
here based on one report.
No, there's nothing.
There's nothing.
There's nothing.
So each and every EFF member can do what they want to do, even be incriminated in allegations of
No, once
corruption,
there
and
is
the
a
party
prima-
will not investigate.
Once there is a prima facie evidence of any wrongdoing,
The prima
party
facie evidence is the report, the
is-
same report that he said that he's going to go and challenge. Has he
No,
challenged
but
that report?
but that report is not implicating him in any in criminal activities. He engaged in transactions with Vele, and those transactions are now under scrutiny by the liquidator, and the young man is cooperating with the liquidation. That's all. And that's not criminal. It might be an administrative error, which people might
But
say
it's a
this money was
error
not
that's
justifiable.
being challenged. It's again, it's an administrative error that's not being challenged. So you
No, but it's being challenged because the liquidators are busy with him. And if there is any wrongdoing,
he told
the
you-
liquidators will hold him accountable.
He told you.
Who?
That he told you, right? He
no, I
he
was
told
told by the
his
deputy
brother.
president,
Sorry,
yeah.
it's the brother.
Yeah.
That he will be challenging the report. What has happened since?
I've never said to you will be challenging the report.
No. I'm saying now he's told his brother, right, who's your deputy. What has happened since?
I've never said to you, I don't know, I've never spoken to Floyd
I'm saying
about-
again.
I've never spoken to Floyd about challenging the report. All I've spoken to Floyd about is what's happening with regard to his brother in relation to these matters. And he told me he has been working with the liquidators from time to time. He has been called to the hearings, and some of the matters they are finding a conclusion on those matters. So I don't want to get involved in, because I'm not involved at that level.
Okay, so you believe even the lowest structure has no need to investigate him?
If they see the need, they've got all the freedom to do it.
But I'm
Okay, but-
sorry, Eldon, sorry, both of you. I'm struggling with your attitude around that. For me, you say that all of this is being used to target your party. If it wasn't, this would be something else. But you seem almost lackadaisical about how it's happening. Like, oh, it's not for me to deal with. But it taints the party, and ultimately you say that taints you.
No,
Surely.
there's no way. It doesn't matter, CD. We're dealing with a gangster here, which has operated from the 80s. Its role is to identify its political opponents and discredit them. That's how Pravin has operated.
No, but Praveen,
But you've got this wealth
No,
of
but what I
information.
say,
Why
well,
don't
Pravin, the Terry report served before Pravin, before it came out. There are names which were removed there. What do you mean? Why have you never taken task with the donation to the Communist Party? And why that donation is today not an issue? Why are you not taking an issue with the Youth League leaders who had finances from VBS, and those leaders were advised before, get other banks to buy your debt from VBS so that you are not in this report? What do you mean?
I don't have
No, but you
details.
came across as if you know Pravin has got nothing
No,
to do
no,
with
I
this.
didn't. I was just surprised by the leap between people asking you and how you are handling matters internally in your party.
No, I know what,
then
and I'm
jumping
saying to you,
to
I know what
a
I'm
Praveen
dealing with.
matter.
I know what I'm dealing with. So, the Pravin's operation has always been that you discredit, even if you don't achieve conviction, it's okay.
But also equally so, you could also take what is within your power to remove the allegations around you.
That's
if
what
other
I'm doing.
people are doing.
What is
I
within my
think-
power is politics. It's a political battle which I'm prepared to fight, and I'm doing exactly that.
Julius, in hindsight, when you look at the whole VBS matter, right, and just what happened to the poor people, I mean, all of the time when I think VBS, the one picture that comes to mind is the hundreds of old people that were queuing outside in the freezing cold, just trying to get what little they could get from them. And when you look back in terms of this saga, how do you describe it as the looting of that bank and its impact on the poor people and taking away this pride of the vendor people, really, that has been there?
We wanted to defend the pride of the vendor people by demanding that the bank must not be closed. It has got a historical role, and it's very important that we protect it. 2, we said on record, arrest those that have stolen the money from those gogos who were queuing. Arrest them. That's number 2. 3, recover every little cent you can recover and pay back the depositors.
You use
So
the-
at the priority of those depositors, it must be individual gogos who have put money into that thing. The liquidator's role is to do exactly that. And we have been very supportive, and I'm happy that Brian has been very cooperative, because some of the things, if they do not make sense, and that's what I told the Deputy President, if they do not make sense, if there is an opportunity to pay back those issues, those monies, please pay back that money.
Including if Brian is proven to have benefited, should be able to pay back that money.
No, I'm saying if the money was unduly paid to Brian,
yes,
that money must be paid back. And not only Brian, everyone, including the Communist Party, including the ANC. The ANC has confessed to you that they've received money from VBS. Why don't you demand the deposit slip where they paid back the money? You never asked for that.
And we should, and you're right, we should. But I'm just saying, Julius, now knowing what you know, can you confidently say that when Floyd was sending that SMS to the former Minister of Finance, Nene, he was not trying to protect the corruption that was in them?
It's a position of the EFF. I know the SMS. I know the SMS.
Was it done in your instruction?
It was done in the instructions of the EFF. We took a decision. Please, if this bank, I actually leave Floyd, I told the president myself. I said, President, if there is,
Cyril Ramaphosa.
Yes, I said to the president, if there is anything we can do to save this bank, let's save it, because it will be another black failure. Let's try and find a way.
But it is a failure.
But it doesn't mean we cannot prosecute the culprits. There, it's non-negotiable. But to see the bank of the Bavenda King going down, and we call ourselves democracy, and we can't defend what our grannies established during difficult times, we must be ashamed of ourselves. I had this discussion with the president, myself, and I said, let's save the bank. And I said to the president, even post the collapse of the bank, I said, if there could be any other opportunity of formulating another bank that works along the same principles of VBS, let's do that for the people of Venda and use this experience to tighten the regulations. But let me tell you, Matats, one thing. A friend of mine who is a shareholder in VBS wrote a letter to FSB and to PIC about the corruption that was going on in VBS. He was dismissed by FSB. He was dismissed by PIC in 2016. He came to me complaining that there is this bank, I'm a shareholder there is corruption. I said, Chief, do what you have to do. He engaged them. 2 institutions, including the Reserve Bank, was made aware that there is shenanigans going on. They didn't do anything about it.
I need to leave, but my last question.
And then Matatsi, you'll come here and say, no, we spoke the way we spoke because we were defending some people who are benefiting. No.
We have to ask you the question.
I know.
That's
We engaged with that battle in 2016, where letters were written to authorities and no action was taken, by the way.
Okay.
In Limpopo, there is a perception
Yeah,
that you are using your brothers and your cousins to do the bidding for you. So you are no longer doing the on-point method of you being a shareholder in those companies, but they are the people doing the bidding, and you are using your political influence to ensure that they get the tenders, whether it is in municipalities where you're a kingmaker or where you have some connection or the other. I am putting the question to you.
In Limpopo, there are 2 municipalities that are...
Or even in...
now you are shifting the
No, I'm saying
you said in
the
Limpopo.
perception
Let's
is,
deal.
but obviously...
So let's deal with Limpopo. In Limpopo, there are 2 hung municipalities, right? And both of them are bankrupt. The reason why the ANC lost is because they ran down those municipalities. That is Mokgopo Modimolle, and that is Tabazimbi. You can go and